Welcome to the Tower 115 podcast with your host, Lycan and Zeno.
Welcome back to the Tower 115. I'm Zeno.
And I'm Lycan.
And today we're joined by Steven from Icarus Projects on Instagram. Introduce yourself, man.
Hello, I'm Steven from Icarus Project LLC. I'm a new dice shop and hobby shop, just hoping to make my my place out here in the hobby community. What's up?
Glad you could join us.
I think you've made it.
Awesome. I'm here.
So I was going through your website and I saw that you only are selling on Etsy. Is that only for right now, or are you planning on expanding later?
I would like to expand to my own website, but that's going to be, a bit farther down the line. I do look forward to doing that.
Okay, cool. So I noticed that you didn't have every faction, and we did talk offline a little bit why you're doing that, but can you explain it to everyone?
A lot of my goal is to, obviously I want to give all the factions some love, but at the same time I also want to make sure to get factions that don't get a lot of love. For example, next week I'm coming out with some Soul Drinker dice,
Wow.
For any of you, like Successor Chapters fans out there. I'm really excited about these, and these are going to be really cool. But I do have Astral Knights on my page as well. I'm really trying to get, some of these factions and some of these groups that, don't get as much love, because I swear if I see another, request for Ultramarines, I'm gonna, throw a fit. Gosh.
Yeah, there's no Ultramarines love here.
Yeah, good.
I could have sworn you did have Ultramarines.
I do have Ultramarines. It's just the colors went so well with it, and I hate myself for this, but when I got that batch done and I was ready to put them out there, I hated it because I loved how they look. They look fantastic.
Those dice look really good, I must say.
Yeah, they've been one of my best sellers so far, and it's just been really exciting. Just to see that, even with as much as I love all the other factions, a lot of really cool requests have come, in through the Ultramarines dice. Like one of the requests that I actually got with the Ultramarines was a guy ordered 2 sets, and then he also asked if I would. He messaged me and let me know that they were actually for his dad. That had just beaten cancer, and he asked if I could. Yeah, he asked me if I could include a note saying that, that his dad, was one of his favorite sons and everything, and that was just, that was probably one of the cooler things that I got to do so far with it. So I got to give some love to the Ultramarine fans out there.
Yeah, that's really heartwarming.
Yeah, starting off with one of those notes. Jeez. I don't know if we can follow that.
No, we'll have fun.
How long have you been making dice for?
For about 3 months. About 3 months. I've been at the process of starting my business for probably 6 or 7 months, but I started selling in January. I started with a couple other little products and stuff. A lot of failures, but it was a chance for me to, just finding out that, hey, I can possibly do dice. Just because a lot of the dice that I've seen so far already, they don't cut it. They're either, $30 from Games Workshop for that have really bland colors, or they're 10 cents, or it's nothing. I've just seen the whole range, and I wanted to make something that was actually unique. I mean, I guess, for example, which my girlfriend's favorite set that I've made so far are probably the Dark Jester dice that I have, which, if you don't know, the main colors are purple and green, and they have gold dots and a gold death mask design on them, which is really cool. And I'm from Louisiana, so that's actually a lot of it's inspired by Mardi Gras, which I think it goes well. It goes well.
So you're good with the Harlequins then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would ever play any disgusting Eldari. No, I'm kidding. But
no Xenos here.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. But no, if I were to ever play any kind of Eldar, it'd have to be Harlequins. They're awesome. Their lore is awesome. Especially in comparison to the other guys, which even Drukhari are pretty cool. But I don't know. Harlequins just have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I mean the Drukhari might as well just be a chaos faction at this point.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
So
been
what's-
really. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, talking a little bit of armies, what armies are you playing right now, and how many armies do you have?
I started off with the orcs. I've
Okay.
been playing orcs for almost 2 years now, and I actually recently bought a knight. I'm thinking about doing Mechanicus pretty soon. I'm really
Ooh.
excited about doing Mechanicus. You know, the best shooting army, and supposedly they're about to get some pretty juicy buffs with the
Yeah, they
Cassel
did get
robots
some
and such.
announcements.
So I'm super psyched about that. I'm trying to see what my best option is to go with that. But yeah, I'm super excited about them.
So you wouldn't go with Xenos then?
Well,
I mean, I play orcs.
orcs.
So,
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what about Necrons? I know they have really good range weapons.
they're cool. They just don't interest me as much. Plus, I have a buddy of mine who's already playing them, and we're trying to with the friend group that I play with, we're really trying to venture out and just bring in armies that nobody else has.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a way to, because we'll borrow each other's armies all the time. We'll play these just absolutely ridiculous matches where we'll play. I think a couple months ago we played a 6,000 point game where
Wow.
where actually it was a 6,000 to 7,000 point game because it was 6,000 points of. It was 3,000 points of orcs and 3,000 points of Imperial Fists in a stronghold versus 7,000 points of Tyranids.
Wow.
And when we have
That's
this
awesome.
Yeah, we have this ginormous fortress, and it's just the Tyranids are bringing wave after wave, and we're just sitting there just slugging them down. It's so much fun.
I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been telling Xeno, like, man, if only we knew someone who had that many Tyranids, because I've been wanting to run a game like that too.
Gosh. So a buddy of mine, his name's Ryan, is the Tyranid guy, and he's had them for forever. He's the kind of guy who really defines plastic crack. But we would just get for about a 3-month period, we would get a message from him each week. He's like, just bought 3 more Carnifexes. I think he has a total of about 30 Carnifexes.
Wow.
He just had so many, and we don't care. There are a lot of rules we don't care about when we play because we're just playing friendly games, and
Homebrew,
the
yeah.
rule of the rule of 3 meant nothing to him. Was not in his vocabulary.
So how did you get into the hobby?
I was in middle school. This was this was almost
Way back.
10 years ago now. Yeah, this was 5th edition. I remember it was 5th edition because I have a 5th edition codex. I remember walking, I was going to my buddy's house for the first time, and he had in his room all these blue little spacemen on his desk, and it looked like just some steampunk, religious crazy iconography. I was like, what the hell is this? And they're like, yeah, this is a game called Warhammer 40K. It's a tabletop game. I'm like, okay, cool. And ended up giving me a Sisters of Battle model, and just so I can paint it and everything. And he let me bring it home, and the next week I went with my mom to a comic book shop that is no longer there. That I went and just got a starting set of orcs and a 5th edition orcs, and painted those for a while. I painted those and used them for about a year, and then I just stopped altogether with the hobby for a very long time, just because I was doing other things.
Yeah, take a break.
But I got really into the lore in the last 4 years. I got seriously into the lore, so I'd buy all the Horus. I have about 24 of the Horus Heresy books, and I'm still reading through them.
Wow.
And I enjoy it so much. It's probably, out of all the Warhammer 40K lore, I think the Horus Heresy is probably one of the best written series. And,
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine, Ethan, who played Imperial Fist. He, I was talking to him about it, and so he's like, "Oh, well, let me try." And so he ended up buying some models, and before I knew it, he had about 2,000 points worth of Space Marines. so I had to, he got me back into it, and so I, dropped a ton of money
Of course.
into getting back into it, and I don't regret it. It's been so much fun, and all of us basically within like 2 months we had all I think collectively my friend group and I had spent easily $5,000 to $6,000 and
Oh yeah,
getting into the game. So
sounds about right.
yeah, it's been good. And now, just to pay it forward, I've recently gotten one of my coworkers into playing the game. I got him to buy 5,000 points of salamanders.
Wow.
He
5,000
jumped
points is a
into the
big
deep end.
commitment.
Yeah. Well, luckily for him, I was able to find him a deal where I think he paid a total $500 for
Wow,
Oh,
that's
which
good.
is insane. But then he just told me last week that he bought 7 nights. So I'm just like, what are you doing? No, he has more points than me now. He's been playing for like maybe 5 months now, and he has more points than I do. So that's freaked me out a little bit.
For sure.
You can't keep up with this demand. That's why you start selling dice now.
Yeah,
I need more
yeah,
guys. Please buy the dice.
Yeah, it's not even about my future. It's just about supporting my addiction to plastic.
Listen, I can't lose to Rick at work again. He'll never let me live it down.
Yeah. Oh, actually, real funny story. So, I do eventually want to get a Titan. Whether I'm gonna,
Like all of
3D
us.
print it. Yeah. Like I don't know if I'm gonna 3D print it, but
You could. How much is a Titan compared to a 3D
Knight?
printer?
I mean, I have buddies with 3D printers, so it probably wouldn't be as big of a deal.
Oh, so you wouldn't even have to spend it. So
Yeah, I'd probably
3D print.
just buy the resin. Yeah.
You
But,
gotta hook up.
But my boss I'm an accountant as my day job, and my boss, I was laid back because I had finished all my work for the day, gotten my reports in, but I was just looking at Forge. We're looking at the I think it was the Warlord Titan, which, if I'm not mistaken, is about 1,500 base price. And yeah, it's expensive. But I was just looking at it just for the giggles of it. And
we've all looked at it,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all
It's
in our
okay to
history
look.
page.
We all look at the Ferraris.
Yeah,
it's fine.
exactly. So I actually covered the price. And I asked him. I was like, TJ, what do you think this costs? And he said, just knowing how much your crappy miniatures cost, I'd probably say like probably $100. I'm like, and he's like, is that he's like, am I right? And I said, no, you got to go higher. And he's like, $300. I'm like, higher. He's like, Steven, that's not $500. And I uncovered it. And this was funny because I never knew. I still don't know if he was serious or not. I don't know if he was joking or if he was 100% serious. But he just starts like babbling like, Steven, you have to stop this. You can't play this game anymore. This is too much, Steven. You have to. He saw $1,500 for a model.
I think he was
Plastic,
serious.
And yeah, I think so. Oh, it was so funny, man.
Oh my god.
We had the same experience with one of our buddies. We took him to a
Oh
comic
yeah,
book store.
yeah, that's right.
And I was telling him, hey, like, would you want to get into the game and blah, blah, blah. So I showed him some boxes. He's like, dude, this is worth $50. I'm like, you know what the
Yeah,
funny
that was
thing
his
is?
reaction for like one commander model or something,
Oh
like
my
one
gosh.
character.
I told him, you know
I'm
what the
just like,
funny
you don't
thing is?
even know.
I told him the funny thing is that there's people out there who get that box and flip it for $300. And his mind just blew. He was like, "There's no way that people are buying this for $3." I'm like, dude, you would be surprised, bro. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah, it
Scalpers are a
was-
thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
especially if
not
you're a
just
really
that,
good
but getting
painter.
it painted for you.
What was that?
Getting it painted for you, professionally.
Yeah. I mean, I paint most of my stuff, but like, gosh, I'm jealous of my buddy who has the salamanders because he actually bought it from a professional, a commission painter that I know, and
Wow.
and the guy painted like really nice flames on the shoulder pads and everything, and it's just such a well painted army. Like he
If that
airbrushed a
guy's
lot.
ever selling some Slanesh models, hook me up.
I think that's his main army is
Really?
is Emperor's Children, yeah, and Slash.
That's awesome. So, since you're a fan of the Horus Heresy, What is your favorite moment or book of the?
Ooh, I mean, a lot. Like, there's so many different moments that I enjoy, but I guess the first one that comes to mind is Tarek Torgodon's moment where he was where he kind of just told off Eidolon. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
He would later regret.
Yeah, yeah.
But Eidolon got his comeuppance there too.
He's such a really cool character. You know, Tarek was always one of my favorite characters, and it was really sad to you know, no spoilers, but I'm not gonna say what's happening. But yeah, one of my I mean, I knew this was gonna come up, but my favorite character in all of the entire 40K universe is Angron.
Angron, really?
Yes, and I saw y'all's video on the World Eaters, and I was like, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They massacred my boy.
My boy.
But no, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I think he's my favorite. It's just, I mean, he's an absolute unit in himself. He's definitely not a tactician. He's just a guy who knows his Legion strength, and it's just like, we're just gonna smash into him until we win. That's it. which works.
Yeah, it works. If it works, it works. I mean, I'll never forget the time when he held up a Titan's leg.
Yes,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments with him as well was when he told off Russ, because it's one of the few, yeah. It's one of the few times, because Angron's not a great debater. He's just not. He's not like theological or anything like that, like the rest of his brothers, because he's just more of a madman. But he, for once in his life, is actually able to beat Russ in a debate. And does very convincingly, to where Russ just has to throw insults at him just to even get close to him. And then the only time he ever responds calmly, Angron basically looks at Russ and is like, the day will never dawn that you can best me in combat, and just straight up tells Russ, like, you will never beat me. Just like,
especially not now.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, he's just a very well written character. I do know that, like, the Tales of Heresy book, which is every 10 books they do like a bunch of short stories, and I think Tales of Heresy is the first one. It's the 10th book, if I'm not mistaken. They have they have Angron's first meeting with Karn, and that was just incredibly well written. And it, you know, like, I'll be honest, like, I cried a little bit reading it, because it was just very well written, and you kind of feel for Angron as a character. Sure. And but yeah,
he didn't ask to have nails put into his brain.
Yeah, he didn't ask for any of that.
Yeah,
guy's just been wanting to die from day one, pretty much.
Yeah,
but sure. No, absolutely. And yeah, I've just, you have a bunch of, like, I think what's really cool about the Heresy so far is that everybody has their moment. Everybody has a cool moment. Even Lorgar, who everybody hates, has
me.
Yeah, I mean, has some really, yeah.
That's gonna be like the running joke of this channel, that I'm like the only person who doesn't hate Lorgar.
I mean, how do you? All right, let me ask you this: how do you feel about Erebus?
Fuck Erebus.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
We're gonna have to bring out the bleep button. Jeez.
God.
Yep.
Every it doesn't matter if you are like the most diehard fan of the word berries, you're always gonna hate Erebus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, even Lorgar of all people has really cool moments where you're like, okay, this guy's legit. Even Raboot Guilliman, who is probably the most vanilla of all the Primarchs. Like, when I read No Fear, I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's a beast. What the
heck? I honestly love that whole series of books of the Word Bearers versus the Ultramarines. That whole sequence was just like so good. Yeah, it was very raw and it was just incredibly well done. Just, I don't know, like, I don't know, I've read some of the books for like, 40K, like past 30K into 40K, to the 40th millennium and all that. I don't get why that, at least for me, I haven't enjoyed those books nearly as much. It just doesn't seem like the story's tied in as well, or it's not
described as well. I guess
There's some good ones. I like I'm reading the Fabius Bile series right now, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I think actually I'd take that back. Okay, one piece of lore that I really like is Commissar Yarrick, who's straight up, like gets his arm chopped off.
Oh yeah.
After getting his arm chopped off, decapitates the orc war boss, cuts his claw off, and just straight up starts screaming at the top of his screams at the top of his lungs on top of the until the orcs start retreating because they're like, who's this madman?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised you don't play a World Eater's army, or do you?
I don't yet. I do eventually want to. I just I guess I'm waiting for them to do an Angron model, which I don't know if how soon that's ever going to be. They've hinted at it. Yeah, they've hinted at it a little bit, but they've also hinted at like Fulgrim and stuff. So I'm not sure.
I mean, we have Mortarion, so it's a matter of time. If it's when, not if.
Yeah, it's more exactly. It's a matter of when they do come out with an Angron. I'll probably be doing a fully Khorne Berserker.
Yeah,
army.
I really like the Be'lakor model that just came out.
It's
super nice.
Yeah, it has 16 wounds now, doesn't it? Is that
I have no idea.
I think
I know it looks pretty.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I think if Auspex Tactics did a video recently. I think it's 16 wounds and toughness 7, which is an absolute unit.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a Gaz proxy, so like having a model that's just that absolutely hard to kill is going to be exciting. Like I think Gaz and Morty might be the two hardest characters to kill in the game right now, if I'm not mistaken.
For sure.
But talking a little bit more about where you get your lore from, do you read the actual books or do you listen to them through like Audible and stuff like that?
I've read the books. Like I have
a hardcore fan.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I just like reading more, and I'll listen to. I'd be lying if I said I haven't listened to any audiobooks, because I have, and I've enjoyed it. It's just when it comes to the especially with the Horus Heresy series, I just really like getting into it, because there are moments that I'll go back and read, because I'll forget about it or something, and I just really it helps a lot more because your brain is able to make the voice in your head, I guess. Because I'm listening, it helps it helps your imagination jump a little bit more, which is I guess why I prefer doing it that way.
Yeah, I am like a collector of books. I don't even read them at this point. So I almost have all the Horus Heresy books on Audible.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, trust me, it's taken quite a time.
Yeah.
I've returned so many books on my Audible subscription that I haven't read or liked or whatever, and I'm like, every time I get refunded a point, I'm just like, Horus Heresy. I don't even have to think about it. I'm just like, yep,
yeah,
I'm getting this one. So I think I'm up to what was that?
It's just a bill you have to pay at this point.
Yeah. It's a living expense. Yeah.
Right.
Gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, I like audiobooks because sometimes the author will, when I read personally, sometimes since I'm not the best reader, I'm always like, oh, now I got to go back and see if that made sense. Like what I just read didn't make sense to me. So it definitely helps me enjoy the book a lot more. But if you're a great reader, I could see how that's better, because you could be putting the voice that you think that character should have.
Yeah, I think it's done well. I'm not an anti-audiobook. I really do enjoy a lot of audiobooks. In fact, this obviously the one that I love a lot is one that Angron is in, is based on Angron. It's called Butcher's Nails. I don't know if y'all read it or listened to it, but the audiobook for that was done perfectly.
It's on my radar. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They did voices really well, and Angron has kind of a raspy, Roman auxiliary voice, which I think matches his personality perfectly, and they just did incredibly well with his voice acting in it. And Karn's this Russian dude, basically. Dang. Which makes sense as well. But yeah, and then you have Latara Sarn, which is this kind of somewhat badass British sounding woman, which is really well done as well. So if it's done good, I don't really have as much of a problem with it or anything, because I love that. I've listened to that one multiple times and I've enjoyed it every ounce, every single time. So
awesome. So when you're reading their lore, do you come up with more ideas for like products?
Yeah, so actually the Butcher's Nails actually gave me an idea for dice that I actually, unfortunately, I had to shelve recently.
Really?
It's for my World Leaders dice. Yeah, it's just because it was costing me too much. So I guess a process that I can explain how how I make my dice is I'll have an idea. I'll probably draw I'll do a rough draft of it myself. But then to get the digital design of it, I have artists. Yeah, I have artists that will do commissions for me. And it's a really cool way for me to, they'll make it look actually presentable and professional. Yeah. And it's a way for me to give artists work. And it's been, so far the work that they've done has been fantastic. But with the Whirly specifically, just didn't turn out the right way yet. And I ended up spending like 5 times as much on that than, and spending like much more time on that one than I did on any other design. It was just costing me too much money, unfortunately. And I do want to go at it again, but I have a lot of other designs that I do want to get out there before I try to tackle this project again. Because it's obviously, as Angron is my favorite character, I really want to do, make a really cool dice design that does him justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've also seen that you have also like what's it called, like not scarves, but the things that
neck gaiters. Yeah, so
neck gaiters,
they're called buffs, neck gaiters, bandanas. Yeah. I have some friends of mine that do a lot of outdoor work who also play the game. My buddy Ryan works in the oil field, and they wear neck gaiters all the time. And it was just an idea. I just thought, why not try it? And it's so far. I mean, I've only recently posted them, but I've gotten pretty decent. People have told me they like them so far, and it was just a way for people to be able to represent, because I want to do something different than here's the American flag, which I'm not against, but it's just you have a
lot of people
different
have
options. Yeah, you have a billion different options for that, or you have just so many different things, and it's like, all right, let's do something that's actually something that's unique already.
Yeah, something that represents me. Plus, I've seen that in niche. Something that I've seen on the DW website is that they do sell neck gaiters, but they don't really have a lot of them for a lot of factions. I've noticed they have maybe 5 of them, if I'm not mistaken, for Blood Angels, stuff like that. But they don't have that much. So, and they're all mostly kind of black and a black on black. So. Yeah. You doing this is really interesting, and especially if you do a Blood Angels one, let me know, because.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I was as we talked on. You asked me about this over Instagram, I remember, but I do have plans to do more. Obviously, I want to do more Space Marine factions as well, but I am trying to give some of the other races some love. At least get a couple of designs out of them, because I already have I'm going to have 4 next week, because I have Soul Drinkers and Thousand Suns coming out next week. And so I guess if you count Chaos Space Marines, I'm going to have, 5.
Yeah,
5 out already.
And you can't really just come out with a new dice just willy-nilly. You have to kind of order you have to kind of order a bulk and then receive the shipment.
Yeah, the way that I have it with the setup I have with the manufacturers, we have they have a set number of colors that they can do, and I kind of go through the colors that they have and see which ones would work best with the different factions and stuff. And if they don't have the right colors available for a certain faction, then I won't order. That's just simply how it is. And I tell them, until you get this, then this color or something close to this, I can't work with you on this. But I do try to work with how they do with what colors they do have, and it's worked out so far. I mean, I think especially with the Harlequins and Ultramarines, it's done incredibly well. And
yeah, no, I think your dice look really, really nice to say the least. I know you're gonna send us a pair so we could see, and then we'll do a video on the channel, and then we'll obviously link you so people could see like the quality. But from the pictures I've seen, they look really good. They look as good or better quality than what's this? I'm sorry. It's a random. It's like chess something. They make
dice. The ones we got at the comic book store.
Yeah,
the generic ones. Yeah, Chessex.
Chessex. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So they look. I personally think they look as good as GW, and GW, to be honest, on their Necron dice, they dropped the ball. They dropped the dice on that one. I don't know if you guys known about them. What happened?
Well,
yeah, they're pretty generic looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're light too.
Yeah. I can actually say I have Necron dice. I actually have been working on Necron dice, and I think we finalized an order yesterday. So I will have Necron dice. It is a custom design.
Nice.
So I think and I'll send you all a picture of that just so y'all can see, but I'm really excited about it. I think those are going to come out fantastically.
Yeah, and we'll put a link on for your Etsy page in the description below also.
Yeah,
we're going to link you up to the wazoo. So
yeah, no, much appreciated.
No problem, man.
So what do you think the future is for your business? Because I know you're going to try to do all the dice, but it kind of interested me when I saw that you were doing the neck gaiters, and you have a pair of snips that you're saying you might throw out, but you're definitely expanding to the hobby side of it as well, right?
Yeah. So I guess I do want to do different apparel, but I want to make sure that when I do apparel that it can be very good quality. That that's the same thing with the World Eater dice that I said that haven't worked so far. Is just that I want to make sure that it's good quality, because I've seen some of the different attire that people already have for whether it's Space Marines or just Warhammer 40k in general, and it's literally it's a graphic just pressed onto a black sweatshirt or something. Like if it's like the Black Templar symbol or something, and I'm like, we can do better.
Yeah.
So obviously I do want to do that, but I guess another thing that I also want to get to is I want to be able to make care packages for people like gifts, to where I get a really I set up a nice box, and I'll have a set of dice in there. I'll have measuring
like
tape,
a loot crate, except you know what you're getting.
Yeah, except exactly what you're getting, because you're choosing the theme of everything. And
that's awesome.
That way, when you go and play a game at your buddy's house, or you go to your comic book shop, all you do is you flip it up, and you have all your stuff here. You have your dice, your objective markers, and everything. Which I am looking into objective markers right now as well.
Ooh.
So
that's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it. I just obviously there's a lot that I want to try, and not everything's going to be a winner, unfortunately, but I want to just keep trying things until and see what sticks and see what works. And so far it's done pretty well for me. Yeah,
and I'm actually, something that we talked about off air is that your manufacturers are located in the US, so it is home
made
based.
In the USA, baby.
So does that help with shipping? I'm assuming so, right?
So yeah, absolutely, it does. It helps a lot with shipping. So it's definitely faster than across seas and such. I've talked to different manufacturers, say in China, Russia, Poland. I'm pretty sure even one was in Germany at one point. But
wow,
they're just they're usually either a little bit too difficult to work with, or their prices just aren't there. And just working with people in the U.S. has been much easier. They've helped me, make my dream come true, and to make these actual quality dice, to where people are enjoying it. When you actually have these dice in your hand, you're looking at them in person, because as good as they look in the pictures, I have I have a friend of mine take professional photographs of the dice when I sell them. But even as good as those photos look, they will not do justice to the dice. Once you actually have them in your hands, it's gonna get you excited. It's gonna get you excited. I mean, if it can make me want to play if my dice can make me want to play Ultramarines of all things, I think these other dice especially will make you excited about playing whatever faction you want.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the quality of your dice, immediately I'm like, I need to get this guy on a podcast because this guy's gonna go far. Like I'm like, I want to interview this guy because, dude, I love what you're doing because I've seen a lot of people do dice on Instagram, and you can tell that it's cheaply made. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but especially from a novice point of view, where I don't create dice and I don't really deal with a lot of dice except the ones I own. But you can tell it's like a faded plastic, like this. They have no sheen to them, and it looks like it's gonna be a light. It's not gonna feel good in the hand when you throw them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making
absolutely.
any sense.
No, you are absolutely making sense. I mean, I think aesthetically they're gonna be, people enjoy them just because it just gets you pumped. Like the way that it's not just how they feel, but it's also just the colors of them. It's gonna by seeing that symbol on it, it gets you excited.
Yeah, it triggers that endorphin in your brain.
Yeah, I remember I gave a set to a buddy of mine who does play Ultramarines, and I remember we were rolling off to see who went first in a game because it was Ultramarines versus Orcs, and I just given him the set, and when we rolled off, I saw that stupid toilet seat symbol on his dice, and I was like, I knew I had lost. I knew I had messed up. I was like, hey, buddy, I'm gonna need those dice back.
Yo, these dice. My bad. These dice are what is it called? They're bad. I need to do a recall on these dice.
yeah. These are. I think these are loaded. Oh my gosh! I had a guy message me and he said if I lose with these dice, I want a refund.
Sorry, that's not my problem.
Well, I can't really control that.
I mean, like, do you know how to roll? I mean,
have you thought about creating one of those little towers that roll the dice for you?
Yeah, so I actually have a buddy of mine who's been wanting to do that, but we've had to put that idea on hold just because he's been having some personal issues. But I do plan on eventually doing that. It's just this goes with how everything else has gone, is that I don't want to put something out there unless it's actually unique and actually, like cool, and that people want it. Like we're trying to kind of get a design together that actually goes with like the theme of 40K and such, not just something that has like one or two shields on it and some towers and that's it. But I want something that actually, like
looks
people can look
decent,
at. Yeah, it's actually, it's unique. But
something that stands out on the table definitely brings a type of excitement to the game, especially if you're playing with like terrain that looks really cool. The whole game just changes. You start getting excited about doing movement phases and all that stuff.
Yeah, you get giddy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. Yeah, at my buddy's house when we do our ginormous, like, just stupid, dumb scenario games, we did I think when we did a game not that long ago where it was actually I was Defender again, but it was also Orcs and Death Guard versus Imperial Fists and Necrons. And the Imperial Fists and Necrons were the attackers, and it was like an annihilation game where they had to wipe all of our stuff out in order to win by turn, I think, 5. But, obviously we had Ghazghkull and we also had Mord. So there's no
because they're just poking him with a stick.
Yeah, I don't yeah. The Imperial Fist player had a Castellan Knight on his side as well, and he still wasn't able to wound Mord, insanely enough. But yeah, like when we got there, he had set up all the stuff where he literally used fish tank gravel, in a lot of parts to make stuff, and just different like little. It's so easy to do all that stuff, but it makes so much of a difference to where it actually feels like a battlefield that you're running across trying to get to.
Yeah, it changes everything. It changes. That's why I'm getting so into the hobby side of 40K. Like miniature painting is one thing, but even on adding another layer to that hobby side is just creating terrain. And I've just been diving in deep. Like I'm starting to have a shopping list on Amazon that's like $5,000 of things I need to buy, to like to create cool terrain, like plaster of Paris and all this crazy stuff. That I'm so, I don't know. It's another aspect of the community that you can dive deep in and just have a blast. So when you're paying for a $40 plastic, you're not just paying for that plastic. You're paying for the community, for stuff that you can make for that model. It's honestly a good hobby to get into.
Yeah, like when I did eventually get back into the hobby, I think it was a little over 2 years ago. It surprised me so much how much of a community it was, because I remember I went and bought like I think $100 worth of orcs immediately, and I think I had total about 500 points of orcs. I went to my local comic book shop where they had a 40K night, and I got to meet a lot of the guys there, and it was really cool, like meeting them. And I got to buy some more paints, and I started painting, the new orc boys that I got. And I literally, had guys just talking to me about it. They'll just come up to you if you're thinking about getting to the hobby. Just go to your local comic book shop, find out when the 40K night is, and they'll guys are more than willing to talk to you about and to help you, like warm you into the hobby. I remember a guy asked me, he's like, "Oh, where's your war boss?" And I said, "Oh, I don't have one yet." Guy pulls out an old war boss he has and just gives it to me.
Wow.
Like a $15 model, just hands it to me like nothing. And then I had another guy. I still had that Sisters of model, like Sisters of Battle model in my box. And another guy walked by and saw that, and he knew I was playing. He saw that I was painting orcs, and he just goes, "Hey." I was like, "What's up?" Just all awkwardly, and he says, "I want your Sister of Battle model. I want it." I'm like, You can just have it, dude." He goes, "No, I don't want you just give it to me. I'll bring something next week." He says it exactly like that. He's like, "I'll bring something next week." And so sure enough, I come back, I bring it again the next week, and he brought me a bunch of orc boy models that he had, that were still on the sprue, and it was literally like $30 worth of stuff just for this model, and it was a worthy trade.
Yeah, bro. I've been 100%. Blown away about how cool some people are in this community. There's so many nice people that we've met in the short amount of time that we've been into it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, you'll always just the enjoyment out of it is insane. And I think another thing that really helped me was just if the prices are obviously the prices for Games Workshop models are very steep. Just look on eBay or even just look on Facebook Marketplace. I actually how I got half of my orc army was I found a guy across the lake from me. I live across the lake from New Orleans, so there's a guy in New Orleans who was getting rid of at least 1,000 points worth of orcs, and I because his wife wanted him to.
Insert joke here.
Yep. And goes to show. By the way, if you're a hobbyist and you're looking for your wife, make sure they're okay with your hobby.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I got that for like $120.
Get them into your hobby.
Oh yeah, especially
Don't just leave and disappear for 3 hours.
Yeah.
At the comic book store.
But yeah, I got that for like $120, so I doubled my army literally within like a week, which is awesome.
Do you use GW paints primarily, or do you have a specific brand of paint you like?
I highly recommend Army Painter. Most of my paints are Army Painter. Every now and then there will be a color, like a specific color that I want from GW or from Citadel. So I will fork over the cash to get those. But most of the paints that I use are Army Painter, just because for one, they're cheaper and they're incredibly good. And I love mixing my paints and matching my paints to see the different colors that I get and to bring out different details. But yeah,
have you tried Vallejo paints?
I have not, but there is this one Vallejo paint that I really do want to try. It's the yellow greenish like plasma effect or the glow effect.
I know which one you're talking about, but I forgot the name.
Yeah, I want to get that one, and I've actually looked at like Hobby Lobby to see if they had it there, but they don't. Yeah, I think you have to order online. But that's the one that I want to try.
Your comic book store doesn't carry Vallejo paints or stuff like that?
No, not Vallejo paints in particular. They have Turbo Dork, Citadel, and Army Painter. I'm pretty sure those are the only three they yeah, it's a smaller one. So.
Okay, so yeah, you don't have that much because right now, the store we go to does have Vallejo, and I'm so glad because they have this hobby night like at a sale where you could get 3 for like $10. So that's pretty good.
That's
and
a really good deal.
On top of that, they have a really cool guy that comes in and like teaches you how to like. He gives you tips about how to paint. You could like sit down with him and he'll show you how to do some stuff. And he let me try some monumental paint, and dude, I was in love. Like, I honestly want to start like just focusing on expanding my range of paints. That's one thing I'm super like passionate about is like the paint quality that I'm getting, because I've noticed that Army Painter is not that good. That's why I don't know if the ones I've gotten were bad and I have to give them another shot because they're pretty affordable. So I'm always attracted to the price. It's just that one bad experience I had just always follows.
I will say the way that I like for my Orc boys, the way that I paint them is I have contrast paints. Like all my Citadel paints are contrast paints.
Oh, okay.
So what I do is like if I'm painting an Orc boy, like I'll paint this. Just say if I'm doing the skin, I'll do the skin in Orc. I think it's Orc skin green or something from Citadel. I'll do the contrast paint over it first. It's dark, and then after that, then I go over and highlight with my Army Painter, and it's worked pretty well for the Orc skin. Like I'll do I'll mix a little bit of just like one of their basic greens with a little bit of white, and I'll just like kind of go over the muscles a little bit, and then I'll do their basic white and just do a couple little highlights here and there, and it looks phenomenal. I mean, it doesn't take me long to do it all, and it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty good, but
yeah, we all think our models are the most gorgeous models in the universe.
Yeah.
We've parented these models.
they're like dogs. Like, no, my dog is the most adorable in the world.
Right. Yeah, I know mine are not professional. I will openly admit.
Yeah.
I want to get an army. I've honestly been thinking about this just because I'm a troll. I want to get an army, a cheap army, maybe on eBay. I'm obviously going to strip them after I do this. But I just want to dunk them in one color, then dunk them in no oil, and then just like spray white. Yeah, spray like a highlight color on them and bring them to a game and be like, these are my models. And I want to see how many people give me compliments. Because I'm going to be like, you know what I did to these guys?
Nothing.
I dunked them in paint.
No,
goes to show.
You need to just make up like a oh yeah, I did this. Like I licked my brush and did all this.
Yeah.
And, like you just need to make I mixed my paints with Monster or something.
Oh yeah. Just talk about it as if you did like the most complex thing possible.
Yeah.
I use big words.
I meditated for 3 hours before.
I have a laboratory just to mix this paint.
Yeah.
I summon the spirit of Da Vinci.
Yeah. I would say just try different things. I mean, I something that I've done recently. I just finished. I have an Orc Buster model. It's from, I think it's from Hardcore Miniatures. I was about to say I thought it was from RTLW. It's from Hardcore Miniatures. Pretty cool company, but that makes custom models. But it's my God's Cold Proxy, and honestly, like I wanted him to kind of like an electric effect on him, so all I did was just got like a lightning bolt blue from Army Painter, just did like lightning designs and then just stood white over it, and it looks pretty legit. And I would just say try things, because if you don't like it, then you can always strip it down and redo it.
Yeah, definitely you need to experiment a lot in this hobby.
Yeah, you have to.
Well, yeah. For if you want to learn and expand, for sure. But I feel like for me, I was so scared of messing up that I just looked at a reference picture. I'm like, I'm gonna do base colors. That's it. And if you just do the base colors and you try to keep it as clean as possible, it's gonna look perfectly good. And you could bring that. And all you need is 3 colors to play at a Warhammer shop. So don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a peasant like me and you never play at a Warhammer shop, just even if you do unpainted models, I can't tell you how many matches I've played where it was exclusively gray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't played yet, but that's just because of the whole like issue now that we're going through.
Yeah. I played a few matches a few nights ago.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, yeah, definitely don't let the painting stop you. I mean, I still haven't painted my full. I think I've painted maybe half of my orc army still at this point, and it hasn't affected my. I'm sure that when I do finally finish painting my orc army, it's going to be my enjoyment's going to be a little bit more.
You'll probably buy more orcs though.
Yeah, I probably will. But yeah, like I get I mean, just try something. Then don't be afraid of messing it up. I think so many people just get overwhelmed by the fact like, oh, look at these amazing models that I see Duncan doing or something. But just try it. Just try it.
What's nice is if there's a GW shop close to you, you can get a free model every month. And I've been experimenting on those. Yeah, every first Saturday of the month. And I've completely messed them up and made them horrific, but at least I know what to do next time and I improve my technique.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you don't have any models, well, heck, if you want a free model, go make sure to be there when your Warhammer shop opens on the first Saturday of every month. The first Saturday of every month, you get a free model. Experiment with that. If you want, you can even paint it with your hobby paints that you have at your house, because it's a free model and you can strip it. So. Bam.
And if you're wondering why they do that, it's because it's plastic crack.
Yeah, they give you a little taste,
and then you're hooked forever.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's what happened to us. That's the story.
Yeah, for sure.
We actually got free models.
The free model 2 months ago was a demonette. And I was just like, oh, I want to paint a Slaanesh army now.
Yeah, they make you paint. They want to paint different stuff, man. And if you get a specific model that you don't have the paints for, immediately you want to get the paints. So
yeah, oh yeah. Now, if I will say, if you do decide to, if you are gonna paint your, a demonette army, a Slaanesh army, Turbo Dork has fantastic colors for them.
Oh yeah,
really.
Like they're really really nice. When I do my Mechanicus army, I'm probably going to use exclusively Turbo Dork to paint them. I mean, I'm also going to be using an airbrush, but still.
I'll probably just stick with Citadel for now, since that's what I know.
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm going off the deep end in a couple of weeks. Once I'm able, I'm gonna get every monumental paint that they have.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna try to, dude. I'm gonna try to go full Vallejo monumental. I need to try scale 75 and P3 because I keep getting recommended it and I haven't tried it yet and I feel bad. But
okay, I'll steal your violets then.
My violets.
Yeah.
My violets. What violets?
Your violets and pinks.
Sure, bro. Yeah, right, boy. I need those. Get your own, son. Now, you know what we could do? One thing I was actually thinking about the other day is if you transfer your paints into like a little bottle, you could give your friends a couple of paints, man. You could just divide it in half,
For real.
Mm-hmm.
That's I was honestly thinking about that today. So money saving hacks.
There's a ton of things you can do. Like, I mean, like for me, it's I guess for terrain is my biggest money saving hack. I literally just get the styrofoam from packages or whatever it's called, and just literally throw like paint and glue on it, and then prime it, and you're good to go pretty much. It's so stupidly simple.
Yeah. Another money saving hack. I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner, because I probably would have made some different decisions in my army building. But I was like, you can play Chaos Demons in 40k and AOS.
Yes.
that's the
why
best bang for your buck.
Yes. Yeah, we're over here playing checkers. You're playing chess, sir.
Yeah, because I got a few Necrons, and they're okay. But I was just like, I really wish I will eventually. But.
Yeah, when he says he has a few Necrons, he has a 2,000 point army of Necrons. So.
Yeah, a few Necrons.
A few. It's only 1,000 points, give or take.
It's closer to 2,000, I think, bro. Because you have bought other models, remember?
Yeah, but that one's only like the Doomstalker's only like 100 points.
Plus, you got to think about upgrades.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Steven, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, man,
give the people what they want and give them all the information. If you need to do any shout outs, give the people who brought you.
Yeah, I just want to say a quick thank you to Warhammer with Yogi on Instagram, dude. Thank you so much for your help. You've really been a huge supporter from the very beginning, and definitely wouldn't be, at this point at least, without you, and I appreciate it a lot. Please go check me out on Instagram, Icarus Project LLC, and check me out on Etsy for, I have more and more dice coming out each month. Next week I will have Thousand Suns and Soul Drinkers coming out. So, be on the watch for that. And guys, thank you so much for having me here. It's been awesome.
Dude, I'm so happy you came on. Honestly, if anyone else wants to come on, just DM us on Instagram. Like, having conversations is just cool. It's not even a work for us.
Yes.
So.
Before you go, I almost forgot. I wanted to ask you, since all good things must inevitably come to an end, though, how do you think the Warhammer 40k story will end?
Yeah,
wow,
you dropped the bombshell at the end.
You wanted to end with that? Okay, yeah. Wow. Shoot. I mean,
I just scoffed up soda.
I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna end. I mean, just knowing Games Workshop, how they like to drag things along and just keep bringing in new things.
Well, it has to go on as forever for the game to continue. But.
Yeah, exactly. But all I do know is that green is best, and the orcs have already won. Because it's perpetual war, so we're winning.
I don't know. I think the Tyranids might have something to say about that.
Personally, I'd have to ask Gaz, but
I don't think they have an Ooga saying that they could beat, bro.
Yep.
You have to do your orc voice before you leave.
I do?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
You don't have
to. Mo Daka.
Mo Daka.
That's all I got.
Oi, get this guy out of here!
Oi, you gets! Bring the Daka to the front!
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Please go support Steven in his project. He definitely has some crazy good-looking dice, and for doing it for only 3 months, he definitely has a whole setup that will bring value to your table. And I think that's it, so... Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we can do another podcast not too far from now. And
I'd love to have you back.